Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for tuning into another video. In this one, I have another crazy story for you. I'm going to tell you the story about the time when I almost got killed by a biker gang. I was around 16 years old and me and all my buddies were at a birthday party and it went really late into the night and we were all really drunk and we were doing a lot of drugs. For the sake of keeping names private, there was me, my guy friends R, M, and K, my girlfriend A, and her friend C. So we all left the party around 3 a.m. and we went out to the main road to try to get some cabs to go home. We found one cab, so we sent A and C back to K's house and we said that we'll meet them there when we find our own cab. So we walked around for a while and we couldn't find any cabs, and then we saw a car wash place where there was a taxi driver and he was washing his cab. So we asked him, can we get a ride? He said, yeah, that's fine, just give me about 10 minutes. We all kind of just walk around and do our own thing, and then I see my friend K talking to a guy, and then all of a sudden he yells out, hey, come on, man. So me, M, and R walk up to see what all the commotion is about. And now that I'm closer, I can see this guy. He's just humongous, at least 6'5", and I wouldn't be surprised if he was 300 pounds, solid muscle. Just a terrifying specimen of a human. He was standing there eating a cheeseburger while somebody else cleaned his truck for him, and then I realized all the stalls in the car wash, except for the cabs, were filled with trucks just like his, owned by guys just like him. Let's call him the biker. M asks what's going on, and K says, oh, I was just trying to get a smoke from this guy, but he won't give me one. Then the biker starts wrapping up his burger, and he looks at us and says, oh, there's 4 of you, huh? He's clearly drunk. You could tell because he was slurring his words, and, well, he was eating McDonald's. I was super high on E, and you could tell by my pupils, and I was just wide-eyed watching everything like a movie. So I was watching pretty closely as he put his burger on the truck, and I was thinking, why is he putting down his burger? He looked around at all of us, and then I realized, yeah, of course it looks bad that we kind of just walked up and surrounded him. Of course we didn't mean anything by it, we were just curious, but it looked bad. Then his gaze landed on me and he said, what are you staring at? And before I had a chance to respond, he punched me square in the face, and then as I flew back, I saw that the cab that was supposed to drive us, I guess, saw what was going on and drove away. So instead of falling, I used the momentum of the punch to kind of kickstart, and I started running after this cab, and I started yelling at the cab, please don't leave, like what are you doing, please stop, but he didn't listen and he drove away. So I was angry at the cab and I yelled out, fuck you, goof, but that was a huge mistake. I hear the biker yell back at me, what did you call me? He thought I was yelling at him. Of course I wasn't, but you know, he was really drunk. Maybe he misunderstood. At this point, my vision is kind of impaired, but it looked like the biker and his friends were getting in their trucks and getting ready to go. Meanwhile, I see K run out into the intersection and pull out his katana. Don't ask me why he had a katana, and started yelling at all the cars, please help, we're in trouble. The car he was stood directly in front of yelled back at him, get the fuck out of the way. But then K walked up to the window of the car and explained to them what was going on, and then the driver pulls out a gun and says, do you want me to shoot him? I guess K was overwhelmed by this and just said, no, it's okay, and then the guy drove off. And luckily, so did the bikers. We were all really relieved. We thought we had really dodged a bullet, so we all started walking towards the nearest bus station to catch a bus home. The mood was pretty bleak, but we were also kind of laughing and joking because we were all really high and I didn't feel the pain, and my crisp white t-shirt was now red, completely stained in blood. So we were trying to make the best out of the bad situation. So as we were walking and talking about what just went down, all of a sudden, out of the blue, we see somebody walking towards us from about 2 blocks away. It was the biker, stomping towards us like a rhinoceros. My friends all ran away. Obviously they should have, and I should have too, but for some reason I stood there with my hands in the air trying to reason with this guy, say, look, I'm sorry, I was yelling at the cab, not you, but he didn't listen to a word I said. He kept charging at me and he started to swing. Over and over, he was just wailing on my face, and then he grabbed me by the neck and lifted me off the ground as he punched me with his other hand, and then he threw me onto the cement. He was kicking my ribs over and over and just stomping down on my body. I honestly thought he was going to kill me. Then I heard M. "Hey man, stop. Please, he didn't do anything." And he did stop. He turned around, charged at M, and did the exact same thing to him. Punched him and threw him to the ground, dropped knees to the ribs. It was horrible. I don't know exactly what happened next, but what I do know is that if it wasn't for M, I would be dead. He saved my life. Next thing I know, I wake up and I'm in the back of this mysterious SUV, and the guy driving is in a panic, and he's explaining who that biker was, that he's a part of this biker gang. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to say which in this video, but he said those guys are going to kill you if we don't get you out of here. So he drove us to Kay's house. I don't know who this guy was, but thank God he was there when he was. We finally make it to Kay's house and the girls are waiting for us inside. All of the lights were off because my girlfriend A had been planning to surprise me with a threesome with her and her friend C. Obviously that didn't happen. So we flick on the lights and we hear a pair of blood-curdling screams from the girls. We hadn't seen ourselves yet, and by the sounds of it, we didn't want to. Me and M both go into the bathroom and look at ourselves in the mirror. Both of us were unrecognizable. Swollen cheeks, black eyes, torn lips, bloody noses, bloody everything. M's nose was broken and his eyelid was ripped in half. My ears were bleeding and my nose was completely sideways. We were a complete mess and lucky to be alive. It was one, if not the most traumatizing experience of my life. This story is hard to tell because M died a few years later for unrelated reasons. He was my best friend, and that night he really saved my life. I'm forever grateful to him. So that's it, guys. That's the story. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.